Yo, what's up, everybody? Tip Touch Podcast back at you again. Brand new fucking episode, as always. I'm Eduardo. I shouldn't even say my name anymore. You know what I'm saying?
You
But
are
I'm
the
gonna do it anyways.
notorious. No, you are the Podfather.
The
The
Podfather.
Podfather.
And then with me, of course, I have what I call him. I'm gonna say this, okay? This is official. Brett Knight. Not Brett Knight, the R&B singer. More like in the shook side of things. So
Brett Knight. The what? Brett Knight is an R&B singer.
is it Brian Knight? Brian McKnight?
Brian McKnight.
Oh, Brian McKnight. Oh, dude, I'm fucking. My bad.
I hit it twice last night.
At 6 in the morning.
Once in the morning and twice last night.
As you can tell, Brett's been in a few. He's already ran through probably 4 or 5 from the Mississippi mud. Whoa, shit, Mississippi mud. That's what it said. I guessed it. And then I looked down. I'm like, oh, shit, Mississippi mud. Damn. Here we are, bro. This is episode what?
46.
Damn, man. That's
46.
crazy. That is nuts.
Yes.
Man, it's crazy to look back at, like, episode 1, which you had you and wifey on, right? Talking about kind of like the real truth of, the 90-day fiance shit, which we can't really get into because of legal reasons.
NDAs.
But, yeah, that was the first episode officially to, venture off to what we, know now as the Tip Touch. So it's crazy, man. 46 episodes in, and we're not stopping anytime soon. But how are you doing, bro?
Unless I die.
Oh,
but I want you to keep going. You can have my microphone.
Have all the podcast equipment.
Well, I'm doing good. So last week, obviously I came out swinging, and I had a week to sort of think about it. In fact, it would be cool if we could kind of share with the audience kind of how it all went down, right?
Okay.
So I obviously knew. So basically, last week on the podcast, I came out swinging on all the super moms out there that were coming and onto my wife's page and trolling, and I came out pretty viciously and basically just let everyone know that, hey, I'm not gonna tolerate people talking to my wife the way that they do. People, I feel like on my wife's page, she gives them a little too much freedom, and they're a little too comfortable with it. So I came in with a broomstick and started bop, 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 cleaned up house a little bit. But I was using, the Tip Touch page to sort of, because I didn't have that. And so I was thinking about that, and I'm thinking, well, shoot, I know my boy Eddie, he, this is his page too. I don't want people to have this impression that Eddie had anything to do with this, and I don't want to put him in this situation. So you and I talked Monday morning, and we just, I said, hey, I want to, maybe just take some heat off of the page itself. And then if I need to troll people, if I need to clap on people that clap at people, I'll have my own account. So I did. I started my own personal Instagram page, and it's strictly just for trolling and being stupid. But it is the notorious B.R.E.T.T. So
yeah, go ahead and follow
if you
people.
Don't know, now you know.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. That's the official Brett page right there. If you want to, get in touch with him, troll him, whatever the case may be, you can do all that free will on that page. Go ahead, right?
Yeah. And so, but I wanted to talk a little bit about, how I did come out. I want people to know that that's not really how I like. It looked like I was mad at these people. I really like, if you want to come into our home and start talking the way that you do, I know that on social media, you've got to be witty, right? And with me, I've always been witty. I've always been able to, come at people who try to be stupid. So, and it works. Like when you can see that they're angry and you're just being witty and you're just being funny, you've won. And so that's all I was trying to do, is just sort of expose some of that. But now that I've sort of had some time to think about it, I don't really want to, I don't mind being witty and I don't mind trolling people every now and then. I just hope that like this was just more of a warning shot, because I really don't want people to get in the habit of like, hey, I want to start a fight. Because I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to go to, like, when that time comes that you may see us on TV again. Um, I'm not going to chase the internet chat rooms. There have been issues with 90 Day Fiance cast where they go and they fight with all these fans in like in other wherever on internet forums, on Facebook pages, whatever. That's not going to be us. You can say whatever you want about us. It's just that the only time we're going to respond is when you come directly to our page. And
yeah,
so that's it. So that's all I want to say. I don't want people to think that that is how I am all the time. I'm not. I'm a fun loving guy. I love having a good time, and that's what I really hope that we can do with the Tip Touch, and then also with our personal pages.
definitely. So it wasn't me, okay? Whoever was going back and forth, Brett, just to clear the waters, it was not moi. All right.
Oh,
I just go on there and promote, obviously the things that are coming up with the Tip Touch and all that jazz, and just responding to people that obviously respond to us back in messages or comments or whatever. Which feel free to do so. I mean, like I said, we're really trying to engage with our audience to where if it's something they want us to talk about or us, give our opinions on certain things, we'll definitely we'll be more than glad to bring it up on an episode just like this. So feel free, go ahead, even on the YouTube page, same thing, go ahead and you just give us some suggestions, I guess you could say, right?
yeah,
um
anything.
but dude, so I want to bring up first and foremost, it was dope. It's amazing, man. I'm going to start off by saying this, and we're going to talk about the music video, the infamous video to 90s baby, right? It was so dope that you send that picture and you posted it up on the gram on the Tip Touch's Instagram page. How it was almost like destined for you to walk in at the perfect timing, sit down, you're about to get trimmed up, boom, what comes on TV, Brett? Tell them.
Right on the screen, we see 90s baby. Now, what makes it even more divine was the fact that 90s baby was actually filmed partially at that spot where I was getting my haircut. So it was
Right?
like, and Trippy Barber, she was the one getting me all lined up. She was also in the video. I saw her in the
Yeah,
video.
she
It
was she
was
was she was
so
getting down to the
cool.
music, man. Yeah. It was so awesome. I was actually at a doctor's appointment and I had my phone open and it was playing in the background. The doctor was like, "That's pretty catchy." Like, yeah, it's
Wow.
one of the a friend of ours that we know. His music video dropped today, and it was cool to see the response, man. I think I looked at the video again just to see kind of where it was at numbers wise, man. It's getting some pretty good views, bro. It's amazing to see how it's really catching on. So, I mean, congrats to Brie and Guada. Awesome visual subject on the editing side of things. It was well put together.
Oh,
Awesome job,
dude, that
all
was
you guys.
that video. So they're right now, just one day into it, they're already at 5.1 thousand views.
That's awesome. We gotta. If we had sound bites of sound claps, we would fucking be hitting that motherfucker right now. But definitely, again, congrats to all you guys on that piece of work. And we're gonna wait and see what you guys got bringing here in the future. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, and for anybody that wants to check it out, you got to go to Neighborhood Music YouTube channel, and the title of the song, it's Young Bree 90s Baby featuring Guada.
Yeah,
So go check that
awesome
out,
song.
show them some love. Yeah, they're doing it,
Definitely.
man. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. So, man, okay, I want to bring something else to the table too. And I guess you're my human Google. Like I said, for all this stuff, when it comes to certain things, I gotta ask you, and then we open up the can of worms on this.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying now that people that got I think it was it the stimulus or the unemployment, they got to pay back now, right?
No, I haven't not heard that. I
So from my understanding, there was something, I think it was on CNN. I saw it could be CNN or MSN, one of those two, and they were saying for the people that were taking that unemployment, that when they had the option to go back to work and they weren't
Oh,
like so pretty much all that money that they were collecting from the time that they've been off, they have to pay it back now. From, I don't know, again, I could be wrong, I'm just
how
bringing up the
could they
subject of,
prove that?
yeah, that's the thing.
Ah, boy. Well, that's the thing. That actually makes me happy. That makes me happy because remember, we've talked about this on the pod a few times is excuse me. Sorry. So unprofessional.
No,
Uh,
it's
good
our
thing
podcast. Do whatever we want,
this isn't on YouTube.
right? Yeah.
But but we talked about this before where people like we were there, right? We were getting paid more to stay home than we were to work. So
Yeah.
we were like, nah, let's just if we can stretch this out, let's stretch it out. But I mean, we didn't, I
Mhm.
wanted to go right back to work. If I was able to go to work, hey, throw
Same
me
here.
in. I want to do it.
Same here.
But but I guess here's where that gets kind of dicey to me because like if I'm so say I'm in that boat and I
Mhm.
choose to stay collecting unemployment because okay, let's say I'm 55 or 60, whatever. I'm someone who is high risk
Mhm.
and I have a justifiable reason for staying off work.
Yeah.
Where do we draw that line? So
Exactly.
it sounds to me like it's black and white. It's hey, if they offered you to go back to work, you either went back to work and got paid right away, or if you collected the money, you pay that back.
Yeah, you really got to have a legitimate reason on why you can't go back to work. Like if you really do have a, uh, you know, uh, if you're diabetic or if you, for God forget, if, forbid that, yeah, like if you have cancer or something, like something of that nature, something where it's really serious, and if this gets in, obviously in your immune system, and you're
Yep.
screwed for sure, 100%. Like that's understandable. But for those people that have the option and could go back to work but are choosing not to, those people would have to pay that back. You would think, right? Like, I mean, if this is
Yep.
true. Again, I'm not 100% sure on this. This is just one of the topics I wanted to bring up and kind of talk to you about.
Well, this is the first I'm hearing. I'm very interested in that,
Yeah,
and I definitely want to research that one further because that's it's interesting. It's going to piss a lot of people off.
yeah,
Gonna
for
piss a
sure.
lot
Oh,
of
for
people's
sure.
gonna piss on a lot of people's Wheaties.
We, I've never had a Wheaties when I was younger. I've always seen it to where like it was a popular cereal back in the day, but me
Yeah.
personally, I never had Wheaties. It was always Kicks, Cheerios, the non-honey ones, and I think that was it. Those were like the main one, Kicks and Cheerios, and which those are my
Uh,
favorite. Those are my favorite.
I mine okay, so we never got the name brand stuff. We always just got the plastic bag stuff. Um
But yeah, you get more bang for your buck though, honestly. Straight
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, my parents like when they knew how to make minimum wage look like you were balling. Like I remember going to the we first moved to Montana and we saw our house. Our house was way out in the mountains or way out in the country. And it was a trailer. It was a single wide trailer, but it was built on top of a cement structure. So it had like a daylight basement. Do you know what a daylight basement is?
Yes.
Okay. So my room was the bottom half. It was the actual structured part.
Okay.
And I loved it because it was big and had my own bathroom, whatever. But we didn't have any money for anything. So
Hmm.
my mom's husband would drive me to the dollar store. And I remember just loving how much I could buy at the dollar store. I was like,
Yeah.
this is a deal. Getting like trash cans, getting all, decorating my bathroom the best way I knew how.
Yeah.
And I mean, I tell you, it was like I don't even like I'll tell people, oh, I grew up poor, but I didn't even know, like I didn't feel poor. I
Like
didn't
the term never really kind of sat in with you, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like I was oppressed in any way. It wasn't
Hmm.
like I felt like I was missing out. I had enough to eat. Yeah, it wasn't the name brand stuff, but I
Yeah.
didn't care. It was
Yeah.
I was fed and I was always having something going on. I mean,
For
whatever.
sure.
So it was a lot of fun. I can't say that growing up poor in that regard was crazy. There were other parts about it though. I mean, my mom when she was single, not having any opportunities. But
Yeah.
anyway, back to my cereal though. I had like the Cocoa Puffs, but the bag
The
version of
off-brand
it.
ones. Yeah.
And my fat ass, I wanted to get more bang out of my butt because I would like instead of I'm like I would eat and I was fat. I was a fat
Mhm.
kid, dude. still am. But I would eat a bowl and I'm like, man, I'm still hungry. So I'd eat another bowl. No, I'm still hungry. So one day I got this idea where I got like this I took that bag and then I just stepped on that bag and just crunched all the
The
thing
puffs.
the puffs up to where it's
Yeah.
just like powder, and I just ate the powder thick.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why? Like, I mean,
So
I guess
so that
sure
I
when
didn't
you're
have to eat 3 or 4 more bowls of it was like Maltamil, but like, so it was all crushed up, but all it was chocolate. I am so surprised that
chocolate.
I am not diabetic. I am
Dude,
really
it's
surprised.
it's insane because for us, like, and this is kind of more of a Hispanic thing, I think. Let's say you had like the regular cornflakes, no sugar, and you wanted to imitate the frosted flakes. You just get like some sugar and fucking pour it all over and
Yeah.
then mix it. Or we add
That's not a
banana.
Mexican thing. That is
For
a
some reason, for
very
me, because there was a meme floating around on Instagram, like Latinos, blah 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 blah. Like, I'd always see it like floating around, and it would always be like in Spanish. I'm like, what the fuck? But it's true. Like, it's
Rice
so
Krispies. We did it with Rice Krispies. We did it with Wheaties. We did it with whatever you were talking about, the
yeah.
the gold golden
The Kellogg's
Kellogg's
cornflakes ones.
cornflakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
we always used to add too like dices of bananas too.
Ooh.
Yeah, we used to do that too. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember doing that.
We did
Call me
that in our
weird.
oatmeal. I would do it
Oatmeal.
like cut up.
I never really was a fan of oatmeal too. I mean,
Neither
until
was
if it was
I.
like the sugar, like if there was some kind of sugar added or some fruit, yeah. But just the plain oatmeal, ugh.
Yeah.
I can't do it, man. Can't do it. But isn't it crazy though? So you were talking about the dollar store, right?
Mm-hmm.
That like you would get flack if you ever were to shop there or they see you there. Like, I don't know if it was like a
Not
back then
me.
type of thing, but like you'd be kind of looked at or considered like, poor. And I'm like, dude, I fucking go check it out every once in a while just to fucking check it out. I'm like, they have juices there that I like, Tampico's, the small ones too. Like shit you can only find at the dollar store because you can get like the regular jugs, but the small ones you can find them at the dollar store. So that's what we mainly go for, me
Yeah.
personally. So
We go there like when our kids have a birthday party or something coming up or
yeah,
whatever, and like everything's super cheap decorations, cheap whatever, you know.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've got no shame. Like I my kids can't tell me anything about, them missing out on anything. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we're going to
Oh,
the
for
dollar store
sure.
today. Hey, we're going to Value Village. We are going
Value.
to Goodwill today.
That's insane too. So okay, so Value Village, right? There's a huge thing when it comes to like retro clothing and retro shoes. So what people do, actually, I knew a coworker of ours. I don't think you've ever met him, but he was telling me that his little brother, he had a business where he would get up super early and he would map out the Valley Villages that he was gonna hit up on certain days because they get like new stuff in or whatever. And he was finding like shirts that were like retro old school, like the Seattle Sonics, what is it like the jackets, the shirts, the jerseys, and some
Mm.
like retro Jordans, like the ones that have like that worn look, like they're yellowing. Dude, people would pay a used shirt, retro shirt, like 30-40 bucks, like if it was brand new. And he was
Wow.
slanging them, like just collecting a bunch, and obviously like cleaning them nice and
Yeah.
washing them and taking photos of them, and that's your hustle right there. And he was making good money. I'm like, damn, dude,
Wow.
that's crazy. I mean, if I think at this point, like you always kind of want to tell yourself, or for the people, since we're going through this pandemic still, and obviously we're supposed to be quarantining and all that. Um, and I've heard this in a video. I think it was a Dame Dash thing. I don't know if it was Dame Dash, but I'm gonna give him the credit. But he said if you don't come out of this pandemic with learning at least one or two things in the sense of like a side hustle or like for me personally, right? I learned how to edit. I learned how to at the time I was streaming, I learned how to run my OBS Streamlabs to stream and put it on YouTube or Twitch or at the time Mixer, RIP to Mixer. But learning all that stuff. So I was dabbling with a few things here and there when it came to
Yeah.
things that would benefit the podcast whole. But that's true. I think that you would want to at least, if you can, of course, it just all depends on everyone's like own certain situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would want to learn something coming from this, because I know a lot of people are probably working from home. They're just obviously like maybe their hours got cut short, so now they're able to stay home longer. I mean, and maybe if I mean, like I said, it sucks. You did lose your job, right? But that kind of pushes you to where you want to learn how to do something else. I mean, there's a ton of resources out there to where you can make something happen. Like people are getting so much flack for buying like the new consoles, right? Like the Xboxes and the new PS5s, and then flipping them for double what they are. It's like, look, man, at the end of the day, it sucks. Like me coming from somebody that likes playing video games, like I was dabbling with getting the new Xbox, and it sucked because when they dropped, like a bunch of people will be buying them and flipping them. Like, cool. Like I'm not gonna be butthurt if I don't get one. I'll get one eventually, like when the hype goes down, and obviously, and
Yeah.
we're here in the holidays, but I have a computer. That's why I'm like not really so like anxious to get it. But I respect the people that are going out there to where they're trying to make a living. Like, what if that person there lost their job and this is their only way to keep their head above water? That's respect though, because they're trying to find a way to leverage it to their advantage to where they can make a living from this shit. So
Mm,
I don't know, that's just how I see it. Again, it's all
yeah.
personal what is opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. That just kind of reminds me of this. So, I've been hearing this thing lately about what they're calling the Great Reset, right? And basically, it's this whole thing where there's so many people who are so upset with how capitalism is working,
Hmm.
and rightfully so in a lot of cases, because, like, let's look at the state of Washington, how the state will say, okay, well, big businesses can stay open, but small businesses can't. Well,
Okay, I think I know where you're going with this. Yep.
that's
Okay.
not fair, right?
No.
It's just so, and so, and then there's this thing called crony capitalism that the federal government plays all the time, where, um, in 2008 we saw it during the financial crisis, where the government bailed companies out. And what's a bailout? A bailout is taxpayer funded money. That's you and me paying taxes, and we have no say, but the government is the one that decides, okay, we are going to bail this bank out, we're going to bail this bank out, we're going to bail GM out. And and so you're basically picking and choosing who the winners are. There are other companies that go through bankruptcies every single day, and um, they don't get any type of support, financial support, other than, hey, we're going to allow you your bankruptcy. You have to give us all your assets, and
Hmm.
we'll clean you out. So, so that's crony capitalism. You're picking and choosing who the winners are. So that, I think, is what people are getting really mad at. But the fact is that it's gone unchecked for so many years. So, long story short, we have a financial debt, and it's not just America, but America, our debt is $27 trillion,
Hmm.
and it just climbs. Barack Obama doubled what George W. Bush did, and then Trump equaled what Obama did in 8 years, in 4 years. So he was on course to
Damn.
double the debt as well. So it's something that I think a lot of people are agreeing that it's not going to get paid. There's so much debt that it's not going to get paid. Well, we aren't the only country. So we saw countries like Greece face austerity measures, where the EU said, if you want to be a part of us, you are going to be paying high taxes. People were fleeing to ATMs. They were trying to clean out and get all the money they could, but they were facing hyperinflation in that country. So so you deal with this all across the globe. All these countries are facing the same situation. So the natural answer is, well, how can we wipe out this debt? How can we start all over? So they have what's called this Great Reset. And basically, what I hope I'm describing this right, but I think what it is where basically we don't own anything. We own nothing. We don't own our house. We don't own appliances. If we need appliances to use it, we rent it for that moment, and then we give it back. So everything is a use. There's no such thing as private property, no such thing as car ownership. We don't own anything. It's a service-based society. And so basically the idea is that's their way of eradicating poverty.
Hmm.
So there's a lot more into it. But I was just I was thinking about that, and I'm like, when the indigenous people of this land, the people that were first here before Columbus and all them showed up, the Europeans, they and also this was also in the Philippines. When I was reading on their history, they had the same type of belief. It was completely foreign to them, the indigenous people, that there was this, that you could claim a piece of land. To them, it was the great creator. The great creator, this was a land given to them to use. Like, you can use the land, but you can't own it. You can't just say that you as a human own a piece of property. It was so foreign to them. But when the Europeans came over, they said, well, here it is. This is how you do it. Now you pay taxes,
Damn.
And so anyway, so I then in this whole great reset, I was like, this is sort of like a way of going back to that original train of thought, other than the land would be owned by a government, but I don't know. I just what would you do? Like, how, if that were to happen, and you lose your house, you lose your capital, you lose everything, you have to clean it out and to pay off all the debts or whatever, how would you go about that?
Shit. I really don't know, man. At that point, it's like, what do I own then? Nothing.
Nothing. You
Not
don't
even my
own
hat,
anything.
my
No.
shirt.
You get to
What you
use
see
it.
back there.
You get to use it if you
Yeah.
want all that, but you wouldn't. Yeah, I couldn't have any of this podcast. We would have to meet up somewhere to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you
That'll
don't
be
get to
crazy.
own anything.
That'll be nuts. I really don't know, man. I mean, I think there would be a lot of pushback because I can only think of one thing right now that, of course, I think everybody would push back, like your guns, your weapons, any of that.
Right.
So that would right there cause a fucking ruckus. And I don't think we would fucking be, just giving it up too lightly like that. Like, okay, here you go. Hell
Right.
no.
Yep.
That's my opinion. I mean, I
Well,
really don't know, man. That is crazy to think about though, because I've always thought about this. Okay, who's gonna collect this money? Like, that's my question. So let's say we never pay it back. Like, fuck it, we're not gonna pay it back. I mean, we're the USA. You know what I'm saying? The fucking, you know, like who's gonna come and take it from us? That's kind of how I look at it. Like,
China.
okay, but so meaning we would go to war then, right?
Right.
Okay. I mean, I just wanted to know. I never
Yeah.
understood how that shit would work. Like, if who's gonna come and collect? If we're the fucking, we got the what? Are we ranked number one, like army wise, to where, we're
We
more
are
technological advanced, like more than like China?
only with the Air Force.
Only with
I
the Air
think
Force.
China's beating us in the Navy. They have a massive Navy
Hmm.
going on, and then just in ways of humans, people. I was reading this thing, and I don't know. I didn't. Oh man, I want to. Justin Trudeau. I want to see. I gotta clarify this real quick before. Um.
But back to what you were saying though, while you're looking that up,
Yeah.
it's crazy that small businesses are pretty much getting the shit into the stick, while these huge corporations, like, there was a video I saw on the interwebs, this lady talking about her restaurant, how she wanted to open up a restaurant and kind of follow protocols to where she's not going to have more than 50 people or more than whatever limit amount of people she can have in a restaurant, but they said no. While on the other hand, next door they let some like huge chain of, I don't know what food place or whatever it was, but they let them open. They can
Yeah.
fucking be open. They can fucking, go ahead and make their day's worth. But for her, nope, got to shut it down.
That's what I'm
That's
talking
fucking
about.
bullshit right there.
Yep.
That
Yep.
is fucking bullshit.
Yep.
But
So
shit, man.
back to China. So basically the headline was that Justin Trudeau was letting Chinese troops train in Canada. So now there's a new headline that says Canadian soldiers no longer training Chinese troops, defense minister says. So if that's the case,
That's weird.
if the Prime Minister of Canada was allowing Chinese troops to train in Canada, that if I were, and here's what's scary about this, because Joe Biden, I'm not going to get super political, other than there were a lot of allegations that he had a lot of deals going on with China.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, and Trump was against China. Trump was really stopping them, because China was devaluing their currency, which meant they were getting way more for their dollar than we were getting. It was completely lopsided trade. It was not fair. We were losing so much money. And so Trump said, rightfully so, we need to end this. Well, Biden has promised to go back to the other thing. So this could be a crisis averted, where we maybe aren't going to war, but if I mean, they are on the list of top adversaries. China does not like the fact, there's one thing I've always read, was that the only reason that we have never been invaded, that America has never been invaded and attacked on our soil by troops, other than the kamikaze attacks in 1941 by Japan, was that because of the gun ownership in America. They said, because
That makes
people,
sense.
like, if you are a foreign invader and you're coming onto our land, and you know that the citizens are armed just as much as the military, you're going to think twice.
I think at that point, it's crazy when you say that, because I think and like I said, I'm only saying this as, you know, the idea of, you know what I'm saying, is something that obviously I wish never would happen. But like, you almost would think that would have to happen to where, if we're talking about unity and kind of bringing the people together in this country, like if something like that at that magnitude happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think at that point we're like, all right, look, we need to protect this country, all of us together, and put all the fucking bullshit aside that we got going on, and face this fucking foreign enemy that's coming towards us. It doesn't have to be China. Again, like I said, whoever. But you would almost think that that would kind of like unite the people in a way. At the worst time, of course, because that wouldn't be too great to fucking, at a time of war, to unite the people. But I feel like at that point, I would think that everybody would kind of be, working together, as one. I think that's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, so Trump has, so it looks like the case that went to the Supreme Court, I think the Supreme Court told Texas. So did you hear about the lawsuit that Texas was filing with the Supreme
Uh,
Court?
all I know, I got dismissed. That's all I read.
Yeah. So, I mean, Texas and a handful of states said, hey, because in our view, Pennsylvania ran an election that was not to their procedure. They went against their own constitution and ran through with this election, that impacts our votes as well. So that, their decision to do that impacts us. So we are suing, but we are suing in federal court. And basically the Supreme Court said, you don't have merit. You can't do it. Can't be done. So I believe that was the last call, the last chance that Trump had to fight to getting this election overturned, if there was going to be that. But anyway, so then there's this guy, and I forget his name, but there is a guy in Texas who is now proposing states sort of align with each other, like basically your red states, your conservative Republican states. And basically they're talking about a succession, talking about succeeding from the union again. I mean, it's like, we've had these discussions before, and we know that the only way that you can do this, historically speaking, is through a war. So but I don't see that. I don't see people in this day and age really grabbing arms to succeed from the country. I don't see it. But there is that talk. There's that talk that they want to take it to court. And so it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's just like, in so many ways, it just feels like we are living in two Americas altogether. It just feels like, you know, we couldn't be more, like, people who are on different sides of the fields couldn't be more further apart.
Yeah. Nah, man, I think it's been a crazy 4 years. I think it's just I've always just thought, to me, it's like, man, there's just a bunch of shit that's going on, obviously. And I think it's been more exposed just because of the help from like social media, obviously it being captured and shit. But it's like everything can get so misrepresented to where like the message could be so misconstrued to where like how someone says it and how it's delivered to the people. And then also too how people kind of take it and like, they can always just get him so misconstrued, So it's just really hard to kind of trust. Like for me, it's really kind of hard to really think, okay, well, who's telling the truth news
I
wise? You know what
know.
I'm saying? To certain things, because that's one thing I think people. There's a lot of misinformation. I think I can just say that. And you know what's crazy about that? I was listening to this podcast, Valuetainment, on how
I like that one. That one's a good one.
right they were talking about how Russia, their secret weapon to divide the country is the power of misinformation. And it made sense
Yes.
when I thought about it, I'm like, holy shit, like that's literally how you could divide people in general and break it's kind of like, what I compared it to, because I'm gonna, obviously, as you could tell in my background, I'm a huge Marvel fan. And uh Civil War, it was kind of in resemblance of fake information and how they use certain things against each other, and it broke up the Avengers, and they all
Yeah.
went their separate ways. So it's almost kind of like this misinformation. It's being spread out so much to where, obviously they're making burner accounts on like Facebook, Twitter, all this stuff, and just spewing all this fake shit, like just,
Okay.
to turn people against each other, right?
Right.
And it's like, you know, I didn't think about that. I thought more of like, there, I think, who was it? Well, I think it was Putin himself said like whoever's going to be the successor or the leader in weaponry was going to be the first country that perfects AI or something like that, like artificial intelligence.
Mm.
But when you think about it, I'm like, when on Valuetainment, when they were talking about how just misinformation is the one way they're gonna try to dismantle democracy in this country. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. I
You know.
thought I was like, damn, that's crazy. That makes a lot more sense though.
Yep. Um. No. And so Russia is doing it their way. China with their, oh my, like they are doing some crazy things. So they are trying to, well, okay, so there's been Chinese spies that have been uncovered
Mm.
lately. Eric Swalwell, I think he's a senator in California. He was a big anti-Trumper. Well, come to find out, uh, he had ties. People are saying that there was an affair, that he had this affair with this Chinese spy. Who their attack is, they call it a honeypot, and they send these Chinese women over, and they try to get a politician early in their career, and that's sort of where they plant the seed, and then to where they
Ah.
build that relationship over the years. So it's trust,
Mhm.
right? You think you can trust this person. Meanwhile, this spy is sending all this information back to China. So then China knows how to make things more China friendly. So hey,
Yeah.
you're sleeping with this person, you have a relationship with this person. See if he can make things more China friendly. So now all of a sudden we have all these China friendly politicians. This Eric Swalwell guy, this her name was Christine Fang. She had slept with two other people over, I want to say, in the Midwest somewhere too. So, you know, she was an effective spy, and I saw the memes coming out where they were doing the spy that shagged me.
Oh man, I mean, look, if you're a politician, right? And of course, this spy was a chick, and chick pushes on you, attractive, I'm assuming, something's gonna go down. And then right there, you're infiltrated already. You're like you said.
You're
I mean,
compromised.
you're compromised, infiltrated.
I
Is that the right
remember,
word?
no, infiltrate. I mean, it works, but compromise
Okay,
works too.
okay,
I
okay.
mean,
I don't know. I felt like I misused the words. That's why I always got to stop
no.
it correct. Like, wait, yeah.
Remember that in Brazil when the Obama's, I want to say it was the CIA, maybe Secret Service, someone. Obama had some people down in Brazil, right? Well, they were hooking up with all these prostitutes, and so and they were like, and so the
Oh
leadership
man.
found out. They're like, dude, these women could be spies, and you had your computers, you had all of your stuff right there, like,
Just
and
slaying them away.
they were,
Computers
and I
open.
remember like Obama was so embarrassed by that because like here it is, his top people were just like,
Like,
you know, just flexing. Yeah.
it's like at that time you're so vulnerable. Ah, fuck it. It's confidential. Fuck it. Just leave it open.
Right.
You know, we're gonna party.
And that's exactly what China is doing too.
Oh
They have all
fuck.
these like these sex tapes, and they you know that basically this blackmail that they hold against all these politicians or whatever. Say, hey, if you want to, you know, come out and you know out yourself, guess what? We have a lot of stuff on you. And
That's
I'm
crazy.
thinking that this Hunter Biden laptop thing might have had something to do with that. Where I mean, how what are the odds of the guy who's running for president? What are the odds that the year of the election that his crackhead son is going to turn in a laptop, and you know, and he was high on crack, so he forgot that he even did it, and then on his laptop he has pictures of him, like videos of him getting a foot rub, you know, and he's smoking crack at the same time, like, and he's taping this. So I don't know. It's like you talk about all these things that China does. That totally seems like, and now that one, maybe it was a Russian thing. Who knows? But all we need to know is that we need to have a real big heart to heart in within our country. And we need to start cutting all of these people out. No more Chinese ties, no more Russian ties, and no more flannel ties. No more flannel ties.
No mas.
No mas. And so everybody, so anyway, and we need to figure, and we need consequences. We need people to say that our national security is at stake.
Yeah.
And if we catch you with a spy and you didn't know, doesn't matter. You've already let too much out of the bag. You're done. You're from here on out, you're done.
Yeah.
But we need to do something in our country. But in so many ways, I just feel like we are heading the way of Rome, where Rome, and I'm talking about Western Rome, Rome ended because it was too spread out. There were too many wars, the debt was too high, and then in the end days, there was too much corruption on the inside. They were all backstabbing each other, and it just like it to me, you know, they say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. I feel like this rhymes really close to Rome. So
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, it's almost like, you know, all these politicians and or whoever, you know, at high level fucking positions, they've been caught up in some scandalous shit. We always got to remember they're just normal people like us. It's just like those people in Brazil that were fucking, you know, letting loose, and they're fucking not even like thinking twice. Like, you're right. These people could be fucking, or these women could be spies,
right.
and they could compromise all of this shit right here, get into confidential fucking data access to where stuff that they can't see, and then boom, they have it, or they take the fucking computer. That's it. You know, rookie mistake.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's insane, man. It's fucking insane.
But they have rules. Anyway.
They have
Well, they do. They all have rules about that stuff because they're, you know, they know what their position is attractive to.
Yeah. Do they really? And now this may be a like out of pocket question, and like I said, I like knowing for me knowing. Do they really tie that fucking briefcase to their hands with like a fucking handcuff?
I don't know.
Is that true shit, or is that like is that stuff we see in the movies only?
I don't know. I want to say that's a movie thing. That seems like a Hollywood thing.
Okay, I figured. I just want to know because maybe like it's the fucking truth. I don't know.
No, because I mean, okay. Could you imagine being in an airport and you see a guy with a handcuffed briefcase? For one, if you're a professional assassin, you're going, okay, well, there's my mark right there. And two, it'll be easy to kill him.
Just chop the motherfucker right off.
What's he gonna do? You know, he's gonna
swing it at me.
Briefcase. Yeah, I think that's Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know. I just it's I've seen it in some shows, and there was some shows and some movies where I'm like, I don't know if this is real or not. I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Stupid question, I know.
So one thing I want to talk about, and we won't. So when this airs, it will be a day after our raffle, or drawing. I don't know what you're
Yes.
calling, but so because we can't really promote it on this, but we will. By the time you see this, you will have already seen the promotion. Hopefully, you joined us. But tell us a little bit about what's going on there.
So the raffle, like my boy was saying, by then we already have chosen the winners, and we've given away $20 uh $10-20 Amazon gift cards. And this was just more plainly, like I said, for us just trying to give back. And it's really simple. Like this is not really a thing where it's going to benefit us in any type of way. And I want people to really just know that genuinely, like I've made it simple. All you had to do was literally tag two people underneath the giveaway post and
Yeah.
then tune into our live session, which would be on the 18th on it's on a Friday, right? So
Friday.
on a Friday at 6 o'clock, and we're just gonna talk, have a conversation, engage with the people that follow us, and then choose 10 people that are gonna get hooked up with $20 Amazon gift cards. I mean, like I said in the promo video, it could be maybe a gift that you forgot to get, for somebody, or you want to apply to the gifts that you're gonna get for your family members, your friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. So this is just us giving back, and I really just wanted to. It's always been kind of a thing of mine to where, um, the past couple of years, we've been doing, me and my wife have been doing this thing where we give back to, how Walmart or some stores have the toy donations, stuff like that. We've always done a
Yeah.
few here and there
Yeah.
to where we want to give a couple gifts to some kids, and it's a big thing for me because, like I said, man, in my position that I'm in right now, dude, I'm generally happy with everything that I have. And I always tell my wife, you don't need to give me anything. Like I said, if anything, give me some socks or some underwear or whatever, so
Mhm.
um I rather give back. And that's, to me, I get the joy from that because it's, I like helping people out like that,
Yeah.
so that's just kind of where it all came about. So
That's cool, man.
yeah,
That's
man.
cool. Yeah, and I'm seeing, there's quite a few people
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
that are going to be fighting for this thing or
Oh yeah,
trying.
man.
So
It's
that's
gonna be a cool
cool.
way how we're gonna do it, because the way that I think I got the idea because I've seen other people use it, the method and how we're gonna select it. It's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune.
Don't
So
I don't I have to be at your place though, or are
no,
you doing it?
I can do
How?
it. I can do it from my place. You can just tell me, all right, spin that fucking wheel, Eduardo. Boom, spin it.
Yeah, but if it's on Instagram Live, or you can do it from here, from Zoom,
Man,
or
bro, you're asking a question that I feel people are gonna be like, damn, this guy's living in 1998, dude. We can both go on live at the same time. You can go on the Tip Touch Podcast's Instagram page, and I can go live on my own personal page. We can do it that way.
but how? Okay, well, maybe I've
I
just
can't
had
believe
too
you're asking
much.
the question now,
I
bro.
I might
Are
have
you
just
that
had too
drunk
much
right
to
now?
drink. Yeah, might. This is not a small bottle, Eduardo.
What kind of beer is that?
This is called a black and tan, and so
Okay.
what it is? Well, this one, it happens to be a black or a porter and pilsner.
Okay.
But the traditional black and tan is the Guinness Stout, or the Guinness whatever, black Guinness one, and
Okay.
then Bass Ale. That was the original black and tan.
Bass
Now,
Ale.
Bass
Okay.
Ale. It's a
Okay.
yeah. I don't like it. So and then what you do is you pour the Guinness in first, so it's all dark and just thick, and then you pour the Bass Ale in after. So when you look at your glass, it's dark on the bottom and light on the top. It's the coolest thing. So I when in my partying days, um, as I started to get out of my partying days, and started to take it down a notch, I a bartender showed me that one where you have to have a special spoon to keep the Guinness and the Bass Ale from mixing. But then I saw this one day; it was already mixed up, and it was a pilsner, and I prefer pilsner over ales anyway. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna drink this one, easy. But if I
Easy.
but if I want to show off my skills, There was one time I tried to make them and I could never get the drinks from not mixing. So I
Yeah.
just drink all my mistakes, and I woke up the next day with the worst hangover. My
Hey, you put it
kidneys
to
hurt
good
so
use.
much.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah, and I didn't throw up.
I hate honestly, man. It's been a while since the last time I got really super trashed. That was, it's crazy now. They make these these pills where if you take it kind of when you're already starting to drink, by the next morning you shouldn't feel a hangover whatsoever.
Yeah,
Isn't that fucking crazy?
that's. I mean, it's like what's that equivalent of? That's like it's almost like in the middle of a spending binge, right? Like
Okay.
you're going on Amazon, your credit card's gonna get crazy, but then you opened up your overdraft account, like to where you can be like, hey, I'm gonna allow myself, $5,000 overdraft.
Five
To
thousand.
where you don't get the
Wow.
you don't wake up the next day feeling like, oh my god, I have all these messages from my bank.
Report. Someone is using your what is a debit card at Walmart for groceries, apparel, and what have you not, going over the limit of 5,000. Jesus.
Dude. But did I show you the bottle of tequila that I got?
No.
Okay. So tell me, I'm gonna send you this real quick. But I got my wife drinks tequila and she's been like
She loves tequila, really?
she's been like low key like making hints that she wants some tequila. She wants to get crazy, she says, right?
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah. So
surprising. That's
so I
hmm.
got her some. So have you heard of Olmeca Altos?
No,
Have you
I haven't.
it's 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 that oh it's I sent it to you, but
Okay.
anyway, if you're a tequila drinker, so when I went to Wine and More on their webpage, it had like a 4.5 out of 5 stars, so it looked like people
Okay.
liked it. um so anyway, we bought that and I got some margarita mix. When I got that drive-through margarita, it was so good that
Was
I'm
it
like,
really? Okay. I was curious to ask you. I don't think I've ever like I said, asked for your review on that. Like, so how was it?
well, okay, the only thing I didn't like about it was at the top, the all I've ever had on a margarita is salt at the top of the thing, right? At the top of the glass. But this one it was like, it tastes like taco seasoning.
What?
somebody tequila makers will know, or margarita makers will know what that is. But for me, it tastes like taco seasoning. It was some sort of a spice, and I did not like that at all.
Hmm.
But the tequila itself, I would have put a little bit more because I like to be drunk when I leave a Mexican restaurant.
Just hammered, plastered, just fucking
Yeah.
slurring words.
I'll see you later.
You
Yeah, the
pass out
cat.
before getting your car.
Yeah. Yeah. I get in the wrong Uber.
Oh,
And
true
don't
story.
realize it until I get home.
There you go. You get dropped off at fucking Casino Road. No, what's crazy though? What's crazy? We went to this burger joint. Everybody knows what Dick's Burgers is here around the area, the Pacific Northwest, especially by the Seattle area, right?
Yeah.
So me and wifey go there one day.
The one in Edmonds?
No, yes, the one at Edmonds. Okay.
Okay.
So check this out. We park. I go out and get our food. Come back. About to just bite into a delicious burger. What is it? What they call the deluxe specials. Um, the door opens. I'm thinking it's my no. Yes, okay. The door opens. Passenger side. Wife was in the back with baby.
Oh.
Door opens in the front. I turn around. This older gentleman, sits in the passenger like he belonged there, and I'm like staring at the guy like, excuse me, and he looks at me. He's like, oh shit. He's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. He was polite as can be, like just embarrassed, like because there was another car like ours literally parked side by side, and he literally and I didn't think of it, and I froze. Like I was like literally holding my burger. I was just like literally looking at him, and I'm like, I was just like, what the fuck? And he just like got startled out of there, and he got out real quick. He's like, I'm so sorry. again, I thought this was our car. I'm like, it's all
Oh
good,
my
sir. It's all
God.
good. Have a good night. That was it.
Hey man, that's awesome though. I mean, that's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's better than the story that I had when, remember when I was telling you about the drunk Russian who
Oh,
thought
the
he was
knife.
at
Yeah.
his house? Yeah. 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 He kicks in the cop's door, and that's when he realized that wasn't his house. And by
Oh
that time
man.
he just passed out.
It was a good thing that he passed out because boy, he would have, nothing. It wouldn't end up too sweet for
Well,
him. I'll
the
tell you
cop
that.
was at the bar at that time, and so his home alarm was going off, and so his security company called him, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll call my buddies." Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's fucking nuts. But yeah, our little incident there at the burger place
that's
was
funny,
it was crazy.
dude. Okay,
I just,
so I see that Dick's is not only selling burgers, but they're selling. Do you know what else they're selling?
face mask.
Do you know what else they're selling?
Uh, you did send me a cool hat that I wanted to get that they're selling.
They are still selling it.
Dude, I want to get that hat.
It's a
I
hat.
genuinely like the fucking hat.
Yeah, with the Dick's menu right
Yeah,
on the
that's
front.
so dope. I would
Dude.
rock the shit out of that
And
hat.
apparently they're selling their own flannel. Like,
That's so awesome.
dude, we need to do. Oh man, that would be a fun little raffle too. A fun little giveaway. Like get
Yeah.
a
Okay.
Dick's, something. I'm not making any. I'm just drunk, rambling on.
We should make an episode where we actually go there, talk it up. We get there, we're fucking, here we are, dicks, blah, blah, blah. And we can do the giveaway there on the live session. That's an idea right there. Boom. We'll do it.
Yeah,
We're not gonna tell you, guys when, but we're gonna make a post about that whenever that happens. But yeah. What else? So the Mike Tyson fight, did you see that?
No, I didn't see it. Tell
Yeah.
me. Tell me.
So like Snoop Dogg said it, Snoop Deal Double G, the God or the dog father.
The dog father. Not to be mistaken with the pod father.
I know that's two different things. I am what I am. He is what he is. Okay. No, but he said it best. It's like two uncles fighting at a barbecue spot because he was saying that he was commentating, which a lot of people found really amusing. Like it was so awesome to see like him calling out the fight. And a lot of people were like digging it because it wasn't like your ordinary, what is it?
Like Joe
boxing
Rogan
announcer, like, your sports analyst, calling it shot by shot. It was just a genuine dude, like calling it like he sees it, like a normal person would, like us, like we would be like, oh shit, he's hitting him with that fucking left. Oh, damn. So, he did an awesome job on that. I heard, I didn't watch the full fight, but I think Roy Jones won.
No.
I think
it was a draw.
It was a draw?
It was a draw. The fight was a draw.
I think you're right. My bad.
Yeah, because I remember, so, I don't have cable. I don't have any of that. And so, but I was just staying on the gram, just like, what's happening? I was keeping up on Google.
Yeah.
And just keeping track with the points. And then finally at the end, I saw that it was a draw. And
I thought Roy's won. That's what or maybe people were saying like he should have won. I don't know. One of the two.
Yeah, I don't know. But okay, what about Logan Paul?
Oh God. Oh man.
The YouTuber. Dude.
I think here's what I think about the whole thing, right? It's gonna be a good payday. And I think this is a good way for them to kind of.
What are you talking about, first of all, so people know?
So Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, that they made the fight. It's an exhibition fight. So technically it's not really like a ranked type of match where it's going to be for like a professional belt, like the WBC belt, the IBO, IBF, whatever you want to call it, right? Like those different ranks, those belts that they have for different weight classes. But this is going to be more like an exhibition fight. It's kind of like when Rocky or when Apollo Creed fought Drago in the exhibition match. Well, Apollo got killed. Hopefully that doesn't happen on this. But anyways, it's going to be like a show fight type deal. You know what I'm saying? But people are going to pay for it, obviously, because they want to see how well Logan can stand up to Floyd, which I think Floyd would fucking, he's going to teach him a lesson. I think he's going to, it's not going to be like a competition for me personally. I don't think, but anything could happen. Obviously, maybe one fucking hit could land and boom, you're done. But Floyd's going to fucking 1-2 that chin and it's going to be all said and done. But like I said, this is going to be a good way because like, if you think about it, what is it?
Logan.
It's Logan Paul who's fighting him, right?
Yeah.
he has a brother, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
What could happen, and it could benefit them both, where maybe Jake Paul wants to go in there for vengeance for his brother or whatever, and they could fucking make another fight with Jake Paul and Floyd
Is he
Mayweather
a
or something
fighter
of that
too?
nature. They both box.
Oh.
So I think what I'm seeing more of this is where, and it's interesting because this would be a good thing for a bunch of people, like especially up there in the entertainment or in the rap game, or boxers versus maybe content creators or whatever. But like, them signing up fights or them signing deals to make these fights and then be, promoted and put out there on some platform to where they can both get a good payday. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
um there's a lot of that now. So I don't think this is going to be like the only one we're going to see. I think there's going to be more of this down the road. I
Wow.
guarantee it.
But that's fun to me. You know who I would have liked to see him fight before Floyd Mayweather?
Who?
Um, who's the Irish MMA guy? Sorry.
The Irish MMA.
The guy that Mayweather fought and won.
Connor?
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I would like to see Conor McGregor fight Logan Paul. That would be a fun fight.
Dude, I think Connor would fuck him up, dude. I just, like I say, he's a trained fighter. He knows how to fucking box.
Mayweather seems like someone who offers a little bit more grace than Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Crowder would just go in there fucking.
Conor seems like someone who might throw a dolly at your tour bus.
Maybe let off a few kicks here and there. Who knows? Right?
Oh,
Like,
God.
that slipped. My bad.
He was crazy for a while. Like I always wondered, was this a promotional stunt or is he like legit just crazy?
I think he's really like, he's about his shit, man. Obviously, I think he is, man. It's yeah. If you fuck with him, I think he's gonna give you something to fucking worry about.
Oh man.
Again, in my opinion.
Damn.
It's nuts. It's crazy. I think, like I said, this is not going to be the first time we're going to see it. There's going to be more of this type of stuff happening with, like, it could be sports entertainers or sports, like somebody from the NFL or NBA duking it out with somebody from the rap game or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, because a lot of the ones that are popular right now too is like the verses where, like two musicians versus battle with all their previous hits and all that stuff. So they're doing that too now. So, I mean, they're finding ways to kind of make their money and kind of put themselves out there like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I do want to talk to you about, though, which we were going to talk about on the last episode, is how theaters are calling out these mega movie production companies on how they're releasing their stuff via stream instead of their theaters.
Yeah.
And we've called this out before, and you can go back to our previous episode. I forgot what number it is, but we talked about how the streaming game is going to get much heavier. When I say heavier, is more like it's going to be more competition for theaters, to where it's kind of cutting the middleman out, where obviously they're going to get a bunch of revenue coming in when they go to theaters, when they sell, like, obviously their popcorn, all the food, overpriced food whatsoever and all that.
Yeah.
But it's more of cutting them out and just going direct to you, to consumer. So what they're doing, I think it's Warner Bros, right? Is it Warner Bros that did it, announced it, where they're going to release like Wonder Woman 2, the new Batman, all these other movies straight to, I think it's straight through their app or whatever. And AMC came back at them like, yo, how could you do that instead of, bringing them to theaters, blah, blah, blah. And it's already causing a ripple effect to where you're going to see this trend maybe down the road where they might say, fuck it. Why do we need to release it to the theaters? If we can, I would think a lot of people would actually buy it on the spot. They can price it at $20-$30. Boom, right there.
You could totally, I bet if you played your cards right, you could set your house up, right? Say you're a movie buff, and you can be like, hey, I have a theater in my living room. I've literally, because the theaters have gone out of business and this is the new model.
Yeah.
Dude, Home Depot, Lowe's, they're going to get you covered. They're going to have pros that say, hey, this is how you set up your theater. So we have your in-home theater. So that our living rooms become basically the new age theaters. And dude, if you're the first one in your neighborhood doing it, it's $5 at the door, baby. Yeah. You better get the pizza. You better get the Sprite. You better get the beer. You better come on in.
Yeah. Or what I've seen in some states, I think in here in Washington too, they're doing it. they're doing the social distance drive-in movie theaters.
I am pissed that they even left in the first place.
Dude, and it's crazy because I've always wanted to do it, but by the time when I really kind of thought about it, like that would be a cool thing to do, they were already gone. Because there was one here close to kind of in the same proximity, kind of where I live.
Yeah.
There was one a long time ago, but now it's gone. So
I think we only have one in the state right now.
really,
Yeah. I
oh
think you have
shit,
to
okay,
drive a couple hours to do it. That would be, but it was fun. Like it was one of those things. I had an F-150, and so we had an inflatable mattress, and we just put
oh
that
yeah,
in there and backed it in and watched a movie as a family. It was so
yeah,
much fun,
dude,
man. I
that's
missed that.
awesome.
And then
Yeah,
even in that one, that was in Montana, and they got rid of that, and they put a country store in there, like a tack and feed store.
yeah,
Yeah, I
nah.
miss it, man.
No, man, I think
Those
that'd
were
be pretty cool
fun.
to have nowadays, man. Especially like right now with everything that's going on. I mean, just separate each other, park, a couple feet away from each other, and just stay at your own ride, and have people come by, taking your order, mask up, deliver your food, or whatever. But that was cool, man. I mean that would
I
be cool to do
can't.
that. What
Yeah,
was
I
that?
can't wait to be over these masks. I can't wait to be able to say something. Now we do. Oh, okay. One thing I want to talk about, and
Okay.
I know that we have talked a lot of trash on the pod, about the vaccine and all that.
Hmm.
I want to the masks work whenever my family and I go out in public. Not, I mean, we do have to, right? But you don't have to for a child, but we still put a mask on our child. We had a really cool gal actually make us masks for Izzy.
Oh, nice.
She had, I think her mom or someone made them, and so Izzy has her own personalized, made mask, and she loves wearing them. And but I just think that, because again, with this misinformation, um I want, like, my real voice, my non-entertainment voice is, the masks are the thing, the last hope, basically, to keep our small businesses afloat. And
Yeah,
we, our hospitals right now, every on the West Coast, they're filling up.
they're
They're
full to the
filling
brim
up.
now. Yeah.
Yep. And so we've got to look out for each other. And I really want us to take the politics out of it. And that's why, um and I don't know how. I don't know how to do that, because if I come out and I say I'm pro mask, that automatically puts me as the guy who is a Democrat.
You're at the
And
left. You're the left. You're, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, you're abiding some. It's just
Yep.
stupid. I mean, why do we got to make that a symbol? Like, if you're fucking wearing a mask, you're automatically going to be labeled something of the opposite side. It's just so stupid. I never understood that, like, that way of thinking. That, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yep.
And even like maybe like it's almost in comparison to, like if you're a pro gun guy, Second Amendment, like you have your weapons carriers permit, whatever, you're from the right, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man, you know what? Just take that, like you said, you're right. Take that out of the equation and just say, man, let's just do this. It's for the best for everybody. I'm trying to prevent this from anybody else getting it, like, especially like the older people too. So it's like, I'm just trying to do my part. That's all it is, really.
Yes,
Just doing
protecting
your
your
part.
family, doing your thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that, I think it's a tactic when people do that, but unfortunately too many people believe it, and I hate it when it becomes a stance to not wear your mask.
Yeah.
Nope, I refuse to wear my mask. Now, if you're in a city or an area where there's low or no outbreaks, by all means, you're probably not going to do anything. But if you're in an area where there is an active uh or a high amount of cases rising, you're seeing your cases rise, just take care of business, man. But too many people have made it political to where people who, you know like, you know I have family in Montana, and they are very skeptical when it comes to wearing masks. And so when it comes to going out in public, they don't want to wear them. Now, me, like, from everything that I've seen it over here with all these people that are dying, I'm like, no, This is not a political thing. This is seriously life or death. And
Yep.
please just wear your mask. That's all I have to say. But I don't know. That's really, that's all I have to say on that. I just want people to be safe. And this is a real pandemic. This is a real, like, it's weird about, I was talking to Trippy the other day when I was getting my hair cut, and I'm like, do you realize our generation, we've seen 9/11, we've seen, I think we were talking about this on the podcast too, right? Where we've seen 9/11, we've seen a pandemic, we've seen so much. It's like this pandemic only happens once every 100 years.
Yeah.
9/11, when has there ever been a time where someone threw two commercial jet through skyscrapers, right? And then three more, one trying to hit the White House, one hit the Pentagon. So I guess it was just two more, right? Yeah. But I mean, it's so crazy seeing that. It's our this time that we live in is so weird. And so I don't know. I hear, like, there's just a lot of, like, when you talk about this misinformation and all that, like, you don't know what's true. Like, you can, conspiracies have become popular.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I'm just sort of rambling at this point.
No, man, no, it's all some real shit. I think the message is pretty much, try to do your part. Let's all try to just be responsible and just do our part to where we can, ride through the storm and just, get, be long gone done with this. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of suppress it from the numbers going up, and obviously, opening up those hospital beds for people that actually really need them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
let's just try to do our part. That's really what my boys are trying to say, and I second that. Just fucking it sucks. It does suck wearing a mask, especially like in the summertime of the time when it was hot and all that. I mean, now it's a little bit more cooler to where it's not as bad, but still, just do your part. When you're out and about with around a lot of people and all that, wear your mask, and then when you're out away from everybody else, take it off and be about. So
we at the Tip Touch just want to see you safe, baby. We
exactly.
just
we're just saying this is
safe,
we care.
baby.
We care. That's it. We're only saying that because we care. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Plain and fucking simple.
Yeah.
I mean, besides that, brother, I mean, we've touched on a few topics today, man. I feel like we fucking busted them out pretty so quickly. I mean, I think we're just getting too fucking good at this to where it just comes out smoothly. So, I mean, it's almost Christmas. It's again, by this time, the giveaway, I'm just so stoked to do. I'm so stoked to, hook up people with that. And by then people will already have them, but it's almost Christmas, the end of the year. And boy, man, it's been one hell of a ride too. Just in regards to the podcast, I mean, we're almost at 900 followers, and I want to say thank you again to everybody that's followed us. And if you haven't, do so on Instagram at the Tip Touch Podcast. It's so cool to see that, dude, because I feel like we're just growing our own little community, and I just want to be able to engage more with everybody too as well. Where I want to have everybody be a part of the conversation too. Where, like I said, suggest some topics. Let's open it up to where what the people want to talk about, and then we can chime in and give our 2 cents and all that. So it's again, thank you for everybody that's been riding with us. I mean, we're almost at episode 50. Fuck, man, it's going along pretty well, and I'm so stoked to be part of this myself personally. And like I said, getting to those small, milestones, and just breaking even bigger ones. So
yeah, and I want to invite everyone to come to the Tip Touch Instagram page, because we throw some heat at that ass. We our latest post we have is the iconic Death Row Records picture where you had Dre and Snoop and Pac and Suge, and we replicated it. We gave it the Tip Touch version of it, and I thought it turned out a little bit better than the original myself.
No, I think it was it was awesome. I think I got to give you credit because you're the one that edited it. Obviously, I just took the pictures, but you putting it together and all that, it came out like, damn, this is like legitimate the shit right here. This is resemblance. I'm like, I couldn't even tell which one's the real one and fake one, dude. Honestly, it's that hard, right? But it came out. I think down the road we should probably use that as like a fucking sticker, like make it out of like where they do us in cartoon version, like of that, like the same picture,
Yeah,
and make it a sticker, and then add our fucking logo, the
dude,
Deutsch podcast.
with the
That'll be
death row
dope.
font.
Death Row font. Fuck yeah. Because I mean, dude, we do this because obviously we're fans of the music. Literally,
Yes,
this isn't to like,
yes.
this isn't for any other reason besides that. Like we're huge fans of Pac, Snoop. Just 96 Death Row at the time. They were the fucking at their pinnacle. They were the fucking West Coast.
Dude,
So
yeah.
that was kind of like the emphasis to that, to where that gave us the idea to do that in the first place. So
Yeah, and
that's pretty amazing.
it was like, remember when Machiavelli came out and Pac was hanging on the cross like he was
Yeah.
Jesus. So do you know why he did that?
You're testing my facts here on my Tupac facts. Well, there was a thing between 7 Day Theory from the time he got shot to the time he passed away. They're saying that was a coincidental thing. It was 7 days from when he got shot till he died. Seven
No,
Day Theory.
he
Machiavelli was kind of like a person that he really kind of like idolized, or really kind of looked like read about a lot,
mhm.
so to say.
Yeah, there was the book Machiavelli, which was about a king who had died, and
And he
he
faked
wanted
his
to
own
know
death, right?
who was loyal to him, who was
Yeah,
true, and the only time you're going to know who's truly loyal is after death.
yeah.
There was that, but no, the Machiavelli cover where Tupac was on the cross was so if you look, there's like little there's cities written all over the cross, right?
Okay.
And basically Tupac was basically saying, these are the cities where I've been crucified. They tried to crucify me in the press and in the news and in the media.
Oh, okay.
And so he said, this is what it's like. Y'all are crucifying me. So that's why he put the disclaimer at the bottom, like, hey, I'm not trying to disrespect Jesus Christ, but this is where I'm at. So
Okay, I never knew that.
yeah, so if you don't know, now you know. Now you know.
That's some facts.
Yeah.
That's straight out the vault. Yeah, that's interesting. That's that's really interesting. That's crazy. He puts that much into the message of like the album cover
Oh,
work and all that.
he was so deep, man. That
Yeah.
Machiavelli album, I remember when it came out. So my favorite album of all times is Me Against the World. He was
Yeah.
just so uh, so deep with everything. Like he looked beyond what normal music was. Like if you hear that album, it's not like other albums.
Yeah.
Although I was listening to a lot of early Ice Cube, there's a lot of Tupac. I'm telling you, Tupac really picked up off a lot of Ice Cube. Like when he started to develop into his own character, you could see how heavily influenced he was by Ice Cube.
Okay.
So that was pretty amazing. There was one album I was listening to Ice Cube. I'm like, there's a lot of this that sounds like Pac right now. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it was crazy. And then he finally found his voice in Me Against the World. But so Me Against the World, I love that album. And then of course, All Eyes on Me. Everybody,
That
there
was
ain't a
the it
soul
for
on
me
earth that
too,
don't have
man.
that album playing, right?
Yeah. It's one of those albums too where I find myself buying it if I see it on CD, because it was just it was like the shit. It still is the shit,
Still is.
but like it's one of those albums where I'll buy it. Like
Yeah.
I have it somewhere, it's somewhere here in the crib, but um and you actually gave me the OS Me vinyl, which I want to get framed, by the way,
Yeah.
because I want to make
Yeah.
it look like the cool one you have. I think you have it somewhere in the studio, but
Mine fell and broke.
if we need to put that up when we actually get our actual studio, I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
we will.
But I wanna do the same thing, put that thing on a frame and just have it hanging there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, but anyway, but with Machiavelli, so basically what happened was he went back to that poetic style in his music, but he changed his style. His style was all different on Machiavelli.
Yeah, it was.
And man, it's just, it's crazy to me that he's gone. Like even this many years, like I was 13 when he died, I'm 37 now, and I'm still in disbelief. I'm like, because his music is just that relevant. It was
Yeah.
just, it's crazy. Like watching these kids that still listen to Tupac, that still hold him as the top guy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah, man.
what an amazing uh person. What an amazing gift that he had. He obviously had a purpose, you know.
Yeah, pioneer. He was a true one of the pioneers of in the rap game. I mean, I think he's in my top five for sure. Definitely, guaranteed.
He's in my
So
top one.
he's the top one.
He's number
Yeah,
one by far. I love me some Biggie though. Biggie
Biggie
was
too. I
just
have to say,
so sick
yeah,
with it. I love like there was this kid I was talking to the other day. This kid, he's well, you know him actually. You know him. He's getting me real interested in the day trade. He's showing me like he's basically told me when I make this amount, I'm walking out. I'm walking out. I know, you know, where we work.
yeah.
And I'm like, you're gonna get there? He goes, well, I just started last summer and I'm already a third of the way there.
Damn.
And he's just gonna live off his own money. And then he's like, he's mind you, he's Asian, right? He's Asian. So this is what makes the story funnier. And he goes, I go, he's not married, no kids, no relationship,
Yeah,
still lives with his parents. I think he's 27.
yeah.
And but he says, hey, my mom wants a Benz. Or no. He says, my mom wants a 70,000 car. That's her dream car. So I'm probably gonna get it for her.
That's fucking balling shit. That's some balling fucking
Yeah.
shit right there,
Yeah,
man.
dude. So
Taking care of his mom's like that. Yeah, that's kudos right there,
I go
boy.
home, boy. You're talking like a rapper right now.
I know, right?
I go condo paid for, no car payment. Told the
Dude, getting
letter
into the
to the plaintiff.
beans.
Oh God.
Uh,
Anyway, so yeah, he wants to sit down and show me the day trade game, and he's just like, it's easy. I'll show you. It's like it's easy. So
that's awesome. He's talked to me
I'm
about it
all
before, and
ears, baby.
he seems like he's really into that, which is good. Obviously, you know, he's really schooled up on it. I think he's brought it up to me before too, but I didn't know like the whole like detailed story, like what you were telling me right now about the car and getting it for his mom, stuff like that.
Oh, dude,
Um,
and he's so funny too. I like he'll send me texts, and it's just like comedic gold. I'm like, man, you are like you're the type of person I want to be rich because you're like you know like he reminds me of Hangover with who's the guy that says like, but did you die? Who's
Mr.
that guy?
Chow,
Yeah, he reminds me of Leslie Chow,
Leslie Chow.
just loaded with money, just not
Yeah,
even caring, just like this is what I do.
that'll be this podcast character name.
And
So his name is, I'm gonna say, we call him Mr. B, but his name B Chow.
B Chow,
Yeah,
yeah. I asked him. He's pretty shy, man. I asked him if he'd get on the podcast. I go,
yeah.
dude, and he said he'll think about it, but if he does, it won't be until he cashes out
Oh, dude,
and the next summer. So anyway, we have that to look forward to.
for sure. That'll be dope. That'll be dope. And we do have some guests lined up to be on the podcast, and we're trying to, you know, I think we're gonna try to do it at the beginning of the year, only because we want to start the year off with the fucking bang. And obviously, these things take time to where we want to plan it out accordingly, so everybody's on the same page and we can make it happen. Because the one thing we've noticed, and we're just keeping it 1,000, people like when we have guests on here because it makes it a little bit better. We love it when we have guests on here because the conversation is great. You know, the vibe is flowing nice, and you know, we love meeting new people, especially with people that have unique stories to their background. So we do have that coming to you. So definitely, we're gonna be more lined up with guests as this next year rolls around. But on it, like I said, this is only going to get better for us because this is kind of more of a, we learn as we go and we're growing. And the awesome thing about this is too is like you're watching us grow before your very own eyes, you know. So
I remember when they were kids.
oh yeah, you're gonna witness the fucking growth, you know, firsthand. So it's gonna be an awesome thing to just for you to witness this with us because we're going this as you're watching us. And you know, it's amazing. So
Yeah, baby, we're gonna get equipment. We're gonna get a new spot. I'm gonna finally move out of my mama house.
yeah, dude, definitely. No, we got some things in the work, and we're gonna announce it soon. Like when we have everything kind of rolling and going, and you know, we'll make that announcement. I guess you could say, which would be pretty cool. It's gonna be more like a collab. I want to call it like a collab. I want to say that, right?
I like that. I like that.
We're gonna do that. But Brett, I mean, anything else you want to cover on this? I mean,
Yeah, just 150 cent line. My mama home. My mama ain't home. You can stay the night.
oh yeah, just a little bit.
That's it.
So people, if everybody wants to see any of the past previous episodes, whether it's in video or audio only, go check out our YouTube page at the Tip Picture Podcast. All major streaming platforms, we're there. You know, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn FM Radio, all that good stuff. And also follow us at the Tip Picture Podcast on Instagram. Sorry, I'm trying to just kind of, you know, find that vibe and go with it and flow with it. And I hate those little minor bumps. But find us all on there. Google us. It'll be the easiest way. Everything will pop up associated with the Tip Picture Podcast. But that's us for today. Till then, we'll catch you in the next one. And we're out.